In that, as we meditate upon the Lord, I request one worship. Brother Ken? Brother Ken? We do a worship, and that's not one we're doing. Last time. Yeah. We do a worship there. Yeah. We do it.
You are Yahweh. You are Yahweh.
Let's meditate this hour.
You are Yahweh. You are Yahweh. You are Yahweh.
Alpha and Omega.
You are Yahweh.
Alpha and Omega.
Oh, you are Yahweh.
You are Yahweh. You are Yahweh. You are Yahweh. You are Yahweh. You are Yahweh. Yahweh, our Jehovah. In that moment, I feel in spirit, some of us are having a very heavy heart. Ile hali ya kuwa na moyo mzito. At this point, it doesn't matter what you're passing through. Haijalishi kile kitu umekoza, haijalishi nani amekukozea. Just go before the Lord and just say, thank you God for what I'm going through. Asante Mungu kwa yale nayo nayapitia. Asante kwa yale nimekuomba ukanijibu. Asante Mungu kwa yale ambayo sijayapata. Shukuru Mungu kama kuna vita ambayo unaendea, vita ya kiroho, vita ya kimwili, whether physical or spiritual. Just go before the Lord and thank Him. For the Lord Almighty God is faithful this day to set you free and free indeed. For He gave us His only begotten Son, for whosoever believeth in Him shall not perish, but shall have everlasting life. Oh Lord, we bless you. Just take your time. There is something bothering you. Kuna ugumu ambao unasikia katika moyo wako. Haujui what is happening next. You don't know what is about to happen in your life. You're feeling this are difficult. Thank God for that difficult. For the Bible says, in everything, for everything, thank God. Na kwa vile mambo yote hutendeka kwa umoja na kwa usuli ya wale ambao wamabudue ambao ni wenye haki. Shukuru Mungu kwa lolote lile ambalo laendelea katika maisha yako. Just take time and thank God for that. Almighty God, I thank you this particular afternoon. You are the health and perfecter of our lives, O Lord. Since the conception of God in our mother's home, O Lord, you knew us. As you spoke to your servant Jeremiah, that before he was conceived in his mother's womb, you knew him. You appointed him, God my Father, Lord, and separated him, O Lord, and made him the prophet of the nations. This particular hour, God, I'm thanking you for every soul, every mind, every body that is representing this sanctuary. You summoned them, my Father, Lord, my God, with a purpose. Everybody was conceived, my Father, and living, my Father, Lord, because you have a purpose for them. It doesn't matter what they are going through, my Father, difficult and challenges, O Lord. Because, O Lord, my Father, those challenges, O Lord, they are producing character in their lives, and you're raising them up, and they are becoming winners, O Lord, more than conquerors. What can we say? If God, you're on our side, who can begin against us? Even the economy itself cannot fight us, because great is thy name, O God. Be so long and before them people, God, my Father, to minister your word. As I speak the ones of blessings, as I speak the one as I teach, O Lord, your word, that you have directed to me through the Spirit of God. May it fall, my Father, Lord, on fertile soils, that God, my Father, you shall bless it. They shall grow to a bigger tree. That be, my Father, house for many. May their souls be in alliance with this one, O God. May you minister to me, God. Kaniongoze katika maneno ya kinywa changu. Nitakayanena Mungu yakawe yamelindwa na yameongozwa na Roho Mtakatifu. Katika jina la Yesu Kristo tumeomba na kuamini. Amen. Tuketi. Bwana Yesu asifiwe. Praise the Lord. Hallelujah. Nashukuru Mungu, sauti amenipea, then nikiongoza we can speak loud. Nashukuru Mungu kwa Jumapili ya leo. Kwa majina ni Gideon Kirima. I'm saved. I love Christ as my personal Savior. I know what the Lord has done for me, I cannot tell it all. Bwana Yesu asifiwe. Kila siku niamkapo na niendapo kulala, nashukuru Mungu kwa sababu najua if it was not for him, I couldn't have been destroyed or perished miaka mingi na kitambo sana. Lakini nashukuru Mungu kwa kunipea nafasi kuwa mbele yenu siku ya leo, na ikiwa Jumapili, I'm happy to stand before the glorious people who have been called by God, who have been made beautiful and awesome by God, who have been provided by God, who have been protected by God, who have been secured by God. Bwana Yesu asifiwe. Kwanza salamu nyingi from a number of people, a number of groups. Nimekuwa Meru, and we had some few visitors there, and also my mother, and the greetings from my mother, my my father and my sisters there. Na I was telling them, today I can't kuendelea kukuko because of other activities. Nikamwambia leo I'll be in Kawangwale ministry. Receive all those greetings from. Today, our theme is about the ultimate offering. I'll try my best kufinya to the mind of kidogo. Bwana Yesu asifiwe. If I dig deeper into the mind of the lectionary prepared, the one who was preparing the lectionary, I think our time might not be much for us. But the ultimate offering, this is our main topic today. Or generally, we are talking about the offering. Bwana Yesu asifiwe. Offering, kwa tukisema kwa Kiswahili inaweza koza uzito. Tukisema matoleo, and now it might track some strength. I want to speak about offering. Bwana Yesu asifiwe. And the Bible says, for God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten Son, for whosoever believeth in him shall not perish, but to have everlasting life. And ndiposa Mungu akatoa mtoto wake wa pekee ili yeyote ambaye amwaminia asipotee. That was God's offering to us, so that we can be saved. Bwana Yesu asifiwe. Lakini ninapoangalia katika Biblia, ningetaka turudi nyuma kidogo kwa kitabu ya Genesis. The first offering that God did. Bwana Yesu asifiwe. Na the offering ni what maana ya offering or matoleo ni kitu ile unapeana. Bwana Yesu asifiwe. Na wakati when I'm speaking about offering, we have to differentiate two things. Offering is not tithe. Hallelujah. Offering is not tithe. When you're for the tithe, it's a strict percentage, 10%. Hallelujah. There is a figure attached to tithe. But in the offering, there is no figure. The Bible speaks of offering your best, giving your best. Hallelujah. So, in tithe, there is no shortcut. You have to pass away with 10% of everything. When we come to the offering, you have to give also the best of everything. Hallelujah. So today what we're talking about, the offering, and when Jesus was teaching about offering, and through the readings that we are reading about, we will focus on few areas about the quality and the value of the offerings. Ama dhamana ya sadaka. Hallelujah. But when you check in the dictionary, I think I used Webster, and also I checked with Oxford a little. The ultimate, when you talk about the ultimate offering, it's just like saying the final, the best of best. You have done everything, ama umefanya lolote lile, na sasa imefika pahali, this is the only thing that left with you. This is the best you can offer. Bwana Yesu asifiwe. The best you can offer to your family, the best you can offer at your place of work, the best you can offer at the church, the best you can offer everywhere, anywhere, anytime. Pahali popote pale, ni nini unaweza peana? The best of it. And checking on the book of, our major on the book of Mark. Bwana Yesu asifiwe. In the book of Mark, there's a story that tumesoma miaka mingi, many years, and this story is about this poor lady who gave the best of whatever she had. I've been reading that scripture for years. I thank God because this time around when I was preparing this sermon, God gave me a different revelation about the entire story about this. We are told that, first of all, Jesus gives some guidelines. Avoid the teachers of the law, mwachunge, ambao wanatakanga sana kwenda wakisalimiwa in the marketplaces, just because their aim is that mjue mheshimiwa alipitia hapa. Hallelujah. God is not interested in that. Praise the Lord. And I'll touch about according to the book of Mark, about the character or the impact of an offering. Bwana Yesu asifiwe. One thing, when Jesus observed what was being given there, people came with bundles of money. Others gave a lot of what they had, just for a show. And Jesus said, took his disciples aside and told them, look at this lady. She has given the best. I like the description in the book of in the Bible when you're using the NIV. For one, it describes that this lady give very small copper coins. Hallelujah. When you consider, she didn't give a gold coin, she gave a copper coin. Akupeana dhahabu, alipeana, I think inaitwa shaba. Yeah. So, what does this show us? This is what Jesus appreciated. Jesus appreciated very small silver coin, 2 of them, no 3. The offering has no size. The offering itself, the size does not matter. Hallelujah. When you're giving an offering, the size does not matter. If you're descendant and in deep in your heart, Mungu amekuambia na upehane a motorbike, you dedicate it to God's work. That's okay. Mungu atakuja na awekea mwingine nia ya kupeana a Land Cruiser V8. Bwana Yesu asifiwe. Someone will be blessed to give us a Land Rover free rider. You get this? Praise the Lord. So, people we attach too much on the big size. And the problem why people attach on big size is because the warning that we are given first by Jesus, people want to carry something that can be seen to be appreciated by people. So, what Jesus is concerned is not si kila watu wanaona. Jesus is concerned with your heart, deep in you. Second thing, offering is all about personal decision. It starts from inside you. I cannot tell you what to offer. You are the one to sit down and decide, this is what I'm offering as a thanksgiving. This is what I'm offering as a various offerings. Thanksgiving for worship, offering. Because you realize during the Old Testament, those who are offering, there was an offering that was called sin offering. This was offered in various states, when, especially for restoration and all that, on necessary. There was things like meat offering. I don't want to go back on the 5 types of offerings in the Old Testament because of time. But the issue here that we want to, I want to understand, how is my offering acceptable? The amount that you give in the church, the amount that you give as a offering doesn't count. Hallelujah. They came with bundles of money, but God, Jesus appreciated that ritual. The 2 silver coins, the copper coins. Thirdly, it doesn't matter your status. Hallelujah. It is not considered who has offered. What the status of the one who is offering. One is a whether poor or rich, you can still offer. This lady was very poor. And when you go to the book of Kings, the one who was offering a meal to Elijah was a widow. Hallelujah. It doesn't matter your status in the society. Just make a decision that you want to offer to God. It doesn't matter if you come on a keti nyuma or you stay at the front seat. It doesn't matter your status. Just offer to God and offer genuinely what you have. Fourth, it's not about people. We are told that Jesus, when Jesus was sitting there, many people came and gave out. So I always say this, we are individuals before we become a team. We are individuals before we become Christians. It will never come a time, no matter how many political parties I join, nor how many churches I join, which religion I join, my fingerprints will remain the same. I'll never share them within one. I'll not share my biometric details within one. Hallelujah. We might be brothers, biological brothers, but I'll always remain individual. Hallelujah. God encourages, deals with the individuals, but unfortunately here on earth, we are much pushed to deal with, to bunch people so that we can deal with them. Hallelujah. The challenge that we have in this world today, people who want to corrupt our minds know that they cannot be able to deal with independent minds. They have to take them together. They pick 3, 4, 5 people, exploit some weakness in them, give them a chance, and exploit them. Shetani ashindwe. So, when you come to church, forget about people. It's between you and God. Hallelujah. People will see 2 coins. They will see very small 2 copper coins. But in the eyes of God, He is seeing greater things than what people are seeing. Yes, to the people, they are seeing someone who is poor. But to God, He is something greater in His presence. As I said that the sex does not matter. It's your relationship with God that matters. Hallelujah. The purpose when you sit down and decide, why are you giving that offering? Why are you giving? Have you decided to give the rest that you have? Is it for the show? Are you giving so that you can be recognized? Are you giving so that you can be given possession? Are you giving so that people can fear you? The purpose of the offering is what is considered. And the purpose of everything is deep inside itself. One is as if you can come from your house carrying anything that you are carrying. It's you who knows why you are offering to God. One is as if we only believe when you say that you are offering as a thanksgiving offering. One is as if because deep inside you, there is something that worked inside you. You felt, I need to thank God. Hallelujah. It's when you're in your house, you feel now, I need to offer to God to appreciate justice, to appreciate God for what He has done for my life. We were not with you when God was thanking you, was blessing you. You are an individual, one is as if you were. And the moment you start thinking with the crown mentality, you lose the point. In God's kingdom, you are an individual first before you come to a group. One is as if you. We are all here today. We are gathered here this day listening to this message. God is interested with you. The records that are being written today, it's about you, not about Kawangware Church. Hallelujah. The Kawangware Church, we know that we are coming here as a Kawangware family to worship. But God is asking, okay, the Kawangware family has come together to worship today. And he asked him, Brother Kogya, is he worshiping in truth and in spirit? Brother Gideon, is he worshiping in truth and in spirit? Hallelujah. Don't be carried by the magnitude and the kind and the gracious offerings that the Kawangware Church has offered. You have an individual work to do for you first and then for your family. What are you giving out? The value of what is you are giving out will dictate how much you love what you are appreciating. The time, the amount of time that you offer to God determines how do you appreciate the doings of God in your life. The offering. Sometimes we feel we are held back to give our best because we are afraid to be judged by those who are ahead of us or by those who are behind us. So we become a stumbling block for those who are behind us as we focus on those who are ahead of us. In the kingdom of God, there's no number one, there's no number two. Hallelujah. God sees everything and judges it according to its motives. He doesn't care where you are. He doesn't care where you come from. He doesn't care about the color that you are. God is concerned about why in the first place did you decide to thank God, to give that offering? Bwana Yesu asifiwe. With the past grace. Sababu ni gani? If you don't have any genuine reason, I would advise you to keep it. Praise the Lord. In the kingdom of God, we have to stop the issue of democratization. I always tell people, in God's kingdom, there's no democracy. There is no time God will call for a vote to decide if you'll be blessed or not. Hallelujah. The kingdom is a one-party state, if we can say. Hallelujah. And that's why it's called the kingdom, because it's ended by the king. And king's word is final. Bwana Yesu asifiwe. And that's why Jesus, when Jesus came here, he didn't seek any more permission to be on earth, because he was from the king, and you don't need the permission to be a king. Kingship is hereditary in a way. Praise the Lord. We are sons and daughters of the Most High King, the King of Kings. Oh, hallelujah. Praise the Lord. So you don't need permission to offer. When we check in the book of Kings, this lady that Elijah meets, and she felt that no. The thing that I'm left with, if I give it, the next thing is to die. I don't know what you're feeling, that if you give it out, if you let it go, you're finished. Hallelujah. On matters of offering, it's by faith and not by sight. Ni kwa imani. Bwana Yesu asifiwe. Hata mti ukikata utachipuka tena. Bwana Yesu asifiwe. Sometimes you have to cut the tree down to the ground so that you can get new sprouts. Bwana Yesu asifiwe. Ndio unasikia vijana siku hizi, although they are misusing the quote, the street wanasema tumia pesa ikuzoee. Bwana Yesu asifiwe. But you have to let something go to get another, to get room for something else. Bwana Yesu asifiwe. Even in the technological world these days, we have to let go the whole technology to introduce a new technology. Hallelujah. So, in the kingdom of God, when you're offering, please do not hold back something that's dear, that you feel deep in your heart. You feel, now I have to give this one. When they read the book of Kings, the widow decided to give out the little that was there. We are told that she never lacked. I don't know what could have happened. If you read down there, there's a time when it came that even a son, after he had given out the little brother that was left there in the well, the son died. And he started questioning Elijah. What kind of misfortune are you bringing to me? But God was very merciful that when Elijah prayed for this king, God restored the breath. Praise the Lord. There is a way that God works. Jesus himself, with the spiritual eyes, when she looked at the lady, the widow, the lady who orphaned the two copper coins, he saw a cheerful giver. Hallelujah. I don't know what Jesus is saying today. I don't know when Jesus is looking at you. If imagine Jesus is sitting here today and is checking and looking when we are offering. the commitment that you have in your family, the commitment that you have in the society. What are you ready to see this nation is better? What are you offering to your family to see it united, to see it strong? What are you giving out for betterment of humanity? Are we giving for show off? Are we giving for praises? Are we giving to be feared, to be respected? It's not about people. It's about God. One is a few. You will give millions, you give whatever you have. We will spend it. We will recognize you. We will give you what you need. And at the end of it all, that's the reward. One is a few. You offer or whatever you are giving out from you, small or big, don't be afraid. One is a few. You have a praise in this world by the purpose of you being alive today. It's a true indication that there's something you are needed to do in this world. One is a few. Let no one bully you. Let no one demean you. You are a son and a daughter of the Most High God. Hallelujah. So, anything that you have to offer, this is David in the book of Psalms. He is giving praises. He is offering praises to the Lord. Saying how great he is to the multitude. What do you say about God? What do you say about Him? Hallelujah. Can you speak about the goodness of God in the multitude of many? Are you ashamed of God? Or you are much freer to speak of God anywhere? One is a few. Our offering is part and parcel of worship. When we offer to God, we worship. Hallelujah. So, one thing, when we check in the book, in the Bible, we have various people who gave cheerfully. The Israelites, when the tabernacle was being built, in the book of Exodus 36 and verse 5, the early church also gave to the needy. That's according to Acts 4, 3, that's 4 to 5. They were giving offerings generously, and this offering was being, it's like what we're talking about compassion today. That offering is for compassion. They want to see the lives of the needy taken care of. Are you giving for the needy, or you are giving the needy for exploitation? These are two things. If really you want to touch their lives, touch them with a purpose that is there. One is a few. The act of offering, when you give or you offer cheerfully with a good and clean heart, there is abundance, like what happened to the lady, to the widow of Serapha, when she gave a last phone to Elijah. You realize there is Mary of Bethany anointed Jesus with expensive perfume and promised, she was promised a special recognition. There was a special recognition for that. One is a secure. So, Today, as we end this service, deep in your heart, this is an individual call. Kila mtu ajiulize, why do I offer? Why do I give the offering in the church? Is it because it's a routine? Is it because it was preached that we give, we offer? Ama ni kwa vile imeandikwa tuwe tukitoa matoleo? Bwana Yesu asifiwe. So every morning when we wake up, make a decision. This is what I'm offering today for Thanksgiving, for what and that and this. Bwana Yesu asifiwe. Mind about the reason why you are offering. Hallelujah. It's not about the church. It's not about the community. It's about what is deep in your heart that God can look at and see, well, it's true. She stood from the seat, went and dropped one coin out of the greatness and thanksgiving she has in her heart, or in his heart. Honest view. Do not be twisted. I know churches are there who are teaching people. They are hope someone, that minute someone coercing people to give. If you are coerced to offer, if you offer because of sin you offer, it's a loss to you. That's business. Shetani ashindwe. When you give out because of sin you give, it becomes a business. But when you give because you've been convinced deep in your heart and you offer, it's between you and God. And God shall, will want you abundantly, and you never lack. Praise the Lord. So, whatever you do in your family, what you are giving to your family, what you're giving anywhere, any place, be informed by why you're doing it. Unnecessary. I know that those people won't go to work because you'll be paid at the end of the month. Hallelujah. You are paid because you have a power and the ability to solve some certain problems for that employer who has employed you. So, the reason that you are being paid at the place of work is when you meet the purpose of you being employed. So, even in the kingdom of God, may you meet the purpose that's coming from your heart. May it be informed by your purpose, and may you offer cheerfully, without coercion, without fear. If you forget everything else, remember this lady in the book of Mark. She was poor. She was an individual on herself, and she had only 2 very small copper coins. And he made everything. She won the heart of Jesus with 2 coins, which were very small. They could not even match the value of a copper and gold, of a gold coin. Before you look down on what you are offering today, or what you are about to give, remember what this woman did. And you are going to go, because he who has called us is faithful to reach whatever he has started in us to completion. Na tusimame. Let us pray. Almighty God, I bless you with our God. I've spoken the words by people, Almighty God. It's the one that you have sent by people. You have planted the seed to the earth. on the mind of each one here, God. Thank you for the work that you are doing, God the Father. You are speaking to each and to everyone with the ones and the understanding, God. You are showing them what they need to offer to their families, O Lord. You are guiding them on what to need to offer, the right things and the purpose and the reason. It doesn't matter the small effort, the little time that they can offer to their children, O God. It can make a difference in their lives. It doesn't matter the time, the little time that they can offer, the little money they can offer to their families, O Lord, that can bind the unity together. What you focus on is the purpose, oh God. It's not the honesty and the genuinity of the heart is what you focus on, God. May you grow that sin, oh my Father, in their heart. That my Father fear that might be engulfing many not to offer because they are afraid, oh Lord, to be seen that they are giving ritual. May you shower them, my Lord, my Father, with the understanding that they have to give honoring the best of what they have. May your one be the right of their path. May you guide them in this way, can as continue. Be with them, and may you speak to their needs, O Lord. King of glory, my Father, you see every heart, O God, that is decided to do a work. May you bless them. May you guide them. For I pray this short and living and trust in Jesus' name. Amen. May God bless you, and may God increase you.